Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. In the United States, our founding fathers believed in the right to bear arms. That's debated today, but something that many Americans believe in is the right to arm bears. And since in the United States we don't do half measures, I'm going to tell you about some of the most well-armed bears in human history. The use of animals in warfare is not a new thing. From bomb-sniffing dogs to war elephants during the ancient Mediterranean warfare, a wide variety of animals have been used in combat. However, it's relatively infrequent for bears to be used, which is surprising given how powerful and violent and amazing they are as creatures. This week, since it is Fat Bear Week, and since I want to drum up more votes for my boy Chunk so he can beat out 747 this year, we're going to be talking about bears, and in today's episode, real-life bears in the military. So, if you don't know, Fat Bear Week is something the National Park Service puts on where you can go and vote on your favorite bear that has fattened itself up for winter before they go and hibernate. And in support of that, we're going to be posting videos about bears all week. Today's episode is on actual bears. Future videos will talk about a ship named Bear, an airplane named Bear, you name it. Bears are all over the place. I am aware of 18 different bears that have served on board battleships. The first bears to serve on battleships that I'm aware of are the 16 bears that the city of Albemarle, Washington gave to the Great White Fleet when they were doing their worldwide cruise. Apparently, the city had 16 spare bears laying around, and they gave one to each of the pre-dreadnought battleships of the Great White Fleet. This was probably done because the Great White Fleet is associated with Theodore Roosevelt, and Teddy Roosevelt is associated with the teddy bear. You can see why they thought to make this name association. They probably didn't think through the difficulties of having a bear on a warship with 1,000 other sailors. I'm not sure how long those bears lasted with the Great White Fleet. We don't know of any international incidents that the Great White Fleet had during their around-the-world cruise, which probably means the bears were confined on board ship. And by World War I, a few years later, none of the bears are known to still be serving on board their battleships. However, across the pond, there was a naval bear named Bruno serving on the Iron Duke-class super dreadnought Marlborough. Bruno is said to have served on board HMS Marlborough for a number of years, from her commissioning in 1914 on. This may mean that Bruno was on board during the Battle of Jutland, which would make him the only bear in history to ever have been torpedoed. Bears on battleships did not end during the Great War. After World War I, the United States commissioned several super dreadnoughts of her own, including the Prune barge herself, named after the Bear Republic, USS California. And from 1921, when she was commissioned, California had a bear on board named Yosemite Prunes. Prunes is most famous for climbing the battleship's cage mast, which apparently they like to do for exercise. Just for scale, the cage masts on California are approximately the same height as the superstructure on Battleship New Jersey. So that bear was getting pretty high up there, maybe 180 feet or so above water. By all accounts, Prunes was a valued member of the battleship's crew until they had to be dishonorably discharged because the captain walked into his cabin one day and the bear was asleep on his couch. Prunes was dishonorably discharged and imprisoned at the San Diego Zoo for the rest of her life. This means that Prunes was not on board California during World War II. And I'm not aware of any bears to serve on board battleships during World War II, but perhaps the most famous military bear in history was operating artillery during World War II. In 1942, a group of Poles, which had been captured during the invasion of Poland by Russia and then imprisoned in the Soviet Union, were released into Iran, then a British colony, so that they could be turned into a new army to serve with the Allies. Sometime during their trip through the Middle East, the Poles came across a baby Syrian brown bear, and they named him Private Wojtek, which translates into Happy Warrior. Wojtek had trouble consuming food because of his young age, so they fed him condensed milk from a vodka bottle. This is likely what gave Wojtek his love of alcohol later in life. Wojtek loved copying after the soldiers that he served alongside. He would march, standing upright instead of walking on all fours. He could salute, which made him very famous with visiting dignitaries and generals. And he loved cigarettes and beer. Probably the most famous incident of Wojtek copycatting the soldiers around him came during the Allied assault on Monte Cassino. The German army had held the Allies up in central Italy at Monte Cassino for something like 4 months and 4 repeated assaults. So the Allies decided to send in the stubborn Polacks, and along with them, and some 1,600 artillery pieces, went Private Wojtek the Bear. The pre-battle bombardment was massive, and when Wojtek saw the soldiers he served with carrying ammunition up to the artillery pieces, he grabbed a 100-pound crate of 25-pounder artillery rounds and carried it along with the men. He did this throughout the rest of the battle. At this time, Wojtek would have been approximately a year old, so still relatively young, and he's recorded as being 14 stone, or roughly 1 curator in weight, which is approximately 20% of his total full-grown weight, which is about 1,100 pounds. Private Wojtek served so honorably that he was promoted to corporal. In 1947, the Free Polish Army was disbanded, and Wojtek went into retirement at the Edinburgh Zoo, where some of his service members would continue to visit him. He went on to be popular in film and appeared often on the BBC. Today, there are no less than 9 statues of Wojtek around Europe. What animals do you think are underused by the military? Let us know in the comment section down below what are some animals that the military should take advantage of that they are not currently. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. There's a link in the description below if you'd like to donate to support the museum. Thanks for watching.